The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
They gave me my theme music!
This is a Planet Fanatics production.
What is up and what's going on, everyone? Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Everybody that's already in the chat, hanging out, appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's liked this stream already. Thanks to everybody that's engaged already. Thanks for everybody that has shown up before and shown back up and shown out. We appreciate all of you guys. Corey and I in the house tonight. Corey in the house. It's going to be me and Corey, and we are going to get through these topics with you guys tonight. But before we do any of that, Corey, how are you?
Since the last time we talked, I mean, I'm here. I'm here, yes. Life is lifing. I'm not saying she's beating my ass, I'm just saying the bitch got hands for sure right now.
Felt?
And she's throwing in those uppercuts real good right now. And I'm like,
Felt.
you can chill on that, but alright. You know? It could be worse, but it could be better. I'm in a weird limbo stage right now.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I do have very exciting news though.
What is your news?
Okay, so as I have came on here and stated for a while that I am not a DC fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with that being said, I have took the time to sat down. I had a friend who was sitting me down and introduced me to the Justice League.
Oh, yes.
And I'm very impressed. I will say though, I'm not liking Superman in this show right now.
What show are you watching?
The Justice League?
Oh, the original Justice League?
I'm assuming it's the original one.
To me, that's one of the realest soups.
But, then I don't know if it's like the OG one. The one that I know for sure is on HBO Max.
Yeah, if it's the, well, all the DC stuff's on HBO. It should be, I don't know. There's several
There's
Justice
just this
League
one
things.
episode where Superman,
What is wrong
like,
with my fucking-
basically traded his life for another planet, and he was supposed to, pretty much lose this fight on purpose. But then, of course, Green Lantern and Hawk Girl got there first. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's the original Justice League.
Okay,
I know
you know
exactly
what episode I'm
you're
talking about?
about.
Bro really just let him bitch-slapped him. And I'm like, do you forget that you're Superman sometimes?
There are a lot of times in that show where that does piss me off.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like you forget you're Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like you forget you have laser beam. Where is your laser beam eyes? You should be pulling a Homelander right now. Cut this nigga in half. Why are we even talking?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
But at the same time, that is the difference in Soups and Homelander. Soups
Yeah.
is not gonna
True.
kill. That's his
true.
whole thing. But he
But
will.
sometimes
but
I'm like, ugh. I feel like you could have gave more there, Superman. I feel like
Yeah.
you could have gave a little more there.
Yeah, DC's great. Love DC. Love some
Right.
good DC. We'll jump right into everything. Where's Q? Q's not here.
That's all I got too. Sorry, guys.
Q's not here.
That's all I got.
Okay, we're going to jump into everything. I'm going to jump into, like I said, a few of the things that I just call them worth mentionings, I guess. Worth mentioning things. And one of the first things that we'll is worth mentioning, I guess. To me, this was not news. I said it whenever it dropped because there were so many people sharing it. Like, oh, you know, I was just like,
I've been seeing this all over Twitter.
I'm like, I don't understand
Yeah.
why this is news, but it's the fact that Paul Bettany had sat down and he took a long pause after getting asked, is Vision going to return? And he said, of course, Vision's going to return. Why wouldn't I? X, Y, and Z. And that's kind of my whole response as well to everybody else's. Why wouldn't he return?
Yeah.
I don't know why people were acting like this was the second coming. Vision returning to the MCU is nor news nor a surprise. It's not news nor a surprise. I just don't I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like, you know, with White Vision saying I am the Vision and that whole thing being left. I mean, there's so many holes within the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now that have to be covered, and White Vision is one of them. So and then not only that, I'm also sick of everybody acting so surprised. Like, this isn't one of the ones we're talking about, but you know, Josh Brolin recently, a few days ago, or maybe yesterday, said something like he's heard that the grapevine that they're going to bring Thanos back, and people are like, oh my god, well duh. Do we not know what we're building to? Do we not know that we're going to Secret Wars? Some of these characters have to be here. And I don't care if it's Marvel's version or the MCU. In order to properly tell Secret Wars, there are characters that have to be present. And I guess you could say the same thing for the Infinity Saga, but this is Secret Wars. There are Thanos is a key player in Secret Wars. I mean, that's not only that. Anyway, Vision coming back to the MCU. Not a shocker to me. Not a shocker. I'm happy. Yeah, yay. Would love to see where White Vision, you know, where is that going? I mean, and I hate doing this every time. I just sound so negative, and I don't try to be. It's just, I guess I don't even want to sound like I'm saying yay that Vision's coming back. I mean, cool. But at the same time, I guess I've maybe lost somewhat of my, because I love Vision, but I lost somewhat of my give a fuck factor of what White Vision's been up to. I honestly don't know if I honestly don't know if I really care what White Vision's been up to since 2019.
I was about to say, we haven't seen White Vision since
WandaVision came out
2019, since after Wanda, and we haven't had any form of signs of him since. So I mean, I get that. I mean, we kind of knew. I'm also very shocked about how many people are like live underneath the rock when it comes.
Well, that's why I always say there are so many people that just aren't in the spaces we're in. Yeah. So, you know, there are people that are just like,
what? And I'm like, what do you mean what?
Well, I actually had someone, I posted something on Instagram on my story, and someone slid up and said, I don't believe it. And I'm like, Secret Wars? You don't know what Secret Wars is? And
like we've been talking about. Everyone's been talking about this movie for literally years. What do you mean?
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's not a surprise to me at all that Paul Bettany is returning as the Vision. You know, he is going to return as White Vision, and we are going, you know, the whole rumor still, I don't know if that's still in a production or not, but Vision Quest, if that's still even the name, is supposed to be the whole show. I don't know if they're still doing that or what, if that's something that got pushed away. But at the end of the day, Paul Bettany is returning as Vision. I thought, you know, hey, everybody's talking about it, so since everybody's talking about it, why not just, you know, mention it and whatever. But Paul Bettany's returning as Vision, and we'll see Vision back. So there's that. And what do you guys think about that? Are you excited that Paul Bettany's returning as Vision, or is that something that's like a duh moment, or is that even newsworthy to you? Just let us know all your thoughts down below. Something else that is, I thought, again, was worthy of mentioning was that Sholo Madadiana
Blue Beetle
said that he will be returning also. This is something he had said before, but he kind of just confirmed it here, that he is going to be returning as Blue Beetle in the DCU. We do know that the first film coming out for the DCU is Legacy, and that comes out in 25. Something I'm extremely excited for. More so excited for, honestly, and I'm going to keep it 100% with you, and I'm not sugarcoating this when I say this. Like, this is not me like putting on or fronting or or anything like that.
Oh, shit,
As excited as I am for Deadpool, I am so much more excited for Legacy. I am so much more excited for everything James Gunn's got going on in that DC universe. Yes, and the reason I'm so excited about this whole thing, and I think Sholo does deserve a second chance as Blue Beetle. I thought, I know everybody really liked that Blue Beetle film. It was fun, I guess. It was okay. I didn't really love it like that. I've only seen it the one time. It's not something that I, even with me having HBO Max, it's not something I've clicked on and rewatched, or anything like that. It's a fine film. I think he's a good Blue Beetle. I love Sholo. I love him in Cobra Kai. That's where I was introduced to him. I think that he's a good actor. I think he's definitely improved as an actor from his days from season 1 of Cobra Kai, but just watching him in Blue Beetle and having him come on as this, as what some people are calling him, the Tom Holland Spider-Man of that universe, that younger character.
I can see that.
I would love to see him in whatever James Gunn is cooking over there with his new DCU. Like I said, we've seen the cast for Legacy. We've seen, some of the characters that are going to be in Legacy. We don't know much about Legacy at all besides a small synopsis, and a very small synopsis. It's very hush-hush. It's very... I like it. I just love the fact that he's coming back. So, this is, again, something that we knew, kind of like the whole Paul Bettany thing. This is not something that was sprung on anyone.
We definitely talked about this in a past podcast about him moving forward with James Gunn's DCU world.
Right.
And I've watched the movie one time, and I enjoyed it. I don't have anything really much to compare it to, because, like I said, I've never really read comics or watched the shows until now, but I do agree with you. I think his acting is very superb, and I also was introduced to him in Cobra Kai. Yeah, and I thought he was pretty good. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I like Jaime Reyes. Like I said, I love...
The action scenes were pretty dope.
Yeah. I think one of the best portrayals of Jaime that we have when it comes to any kind of form of the DC universe or whatever so far is in Young Justice. I think he's portrayed brilliantly in Young Justice. But again, like I said, I'm ready to see what Sholo does moving forward in James Gunn's DCU. So, as always, the question is for you guys. Let us know down below what you guys are thinking, though. Are you excited that Sholo's coming back? What do you think that... Are you more so excited, not so much that Sholo's coming back, but so much so that, he's going to get to interact with everything going on in James Gunn's new DCU, and what that's going to look like? Let us know all those thoughts and everything down below and what you guys think. The next thing that is worth mentioning, and we've talked about this, we talked about it when it was first mentioned, and that was the Quiet Place, day one is what it's called, day one, Quiet Place day one. A trailer was released today. I'm really hesitant to watch this trailer, but we will watch the trailer.
Is this supposed to be a movie or a show? A movie, right?
Oh, it's a movie, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they were done with the Quiet Places. No, I thought John.
No, this is from a different perspective.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, this is from a completely different perspective. Okay, here we are. We'll watch this. Hesitant to, I really am, but we'll give it a go. I'm a fan of the first two. So
Yeah.
being a
Really
fan
great.
of the first two, I that's why I've been talking about it since it was announced. I'm a fan. I that right there already draws me in. I want to see where this goes. Yeah, it's the same things, but it's day one. This is not seeing them already, everybody all quiet. This is them having to learn that these things,
Go off of sound.
off of sound and everything like that. And this is a city, not a town.
Mhm.
This is a bigger city. This is like New York. It looks like.
Right.
So this is not a small town. This is so I'm interested. I already like the cast too, as far as like having Lupita, Joseph Quinn. I forget his name from the Naked Brothers band.
Alex Wolf.
Yeah, Alex
Or
Wolf.
Max.
Having him in there.
Yes,
I'm
I
like I
was
said,
a
I'm
huge
excited.
Naked Brothers fan.
I was not. I
Oh my God, I
hated
was-
when that shit came on.
Listen,
Nickelodeon.
I was sad.
I could
I know
not
every song
stand,
to this day.
stand them.
Rosalina.
I know not one
Listen.
song. Couldn't tell you not one. Every time they came on, I turned the channel. I was
No.
like, I cannot with them.
Taxi cab. Yeah,
Okay, I
that's my
do know
shit.
that shit. I
That's my
know
shit.
that tune.
Yeah.
Chorus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Please
him
tell me
having
about
him in it, having this is not going to have John Krasinski or Emily Blunt's characters in it. This is of course, as you saw from the trailer, this is day one. So I'm interested. I'm excited. I do want to see this, and I thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, I'm at the point where, like, anything that this man writes and directs,
I like John.
I'm in. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to be in it anymore for me to be drawn to it. Like, you're doing your thing.
Yeah. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. But questions for you guys. What are you guys thinking of that trailer? What do you think? Were you fans of the first two Quiet Place films? And if so, are you going to be going to see this one? Let us know down below. Or if you've never seen them, and maybe this was your first time seeing anything from it, let us know what you guys thought down below. And the last thing that I thought was worth mentioning was the clip. If you play the clip that came. A clip that came out for Avatar, if this will play correctly, but we will see, because Twitter's being weird. But I wanted to kind of watch this, and because we didn't watch the original trailer or anything like that, so I wanted to watch this because this comes out on February 22nd. Huge Avatar fan, so let's see what this is talking about. It might not do it. Told you Twitter's being weird. It is. It's not gonna do it. Hold on. Hold on. We can read some of those. What people saying? Anything?
We'll start at the top when we were talking about Vision. Raymond 2000 said, Vision still alive? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, he is. Mr. Gauss, I don't know if I said that correctly. How am I supposed to buy into an MCU multiverse that doesn't have a Wesley Snipes blade?
True. We don't know. That's yet to be seen, but
To be continued on that one. D-Sizzle, he's an android, plus he died a few times in the comics. Chillmonger, fans are still watching, they just wait until streaming. D-Sizzle, it's why Ultron should have easily came back. I feel like Ultron should have made his appearance back by now. I definitely agree with that.
what we know, and if I don't know, those rumors are still true or not, but it's supposed to take place in Armor Wars.
Yeah. Just feel like, yeah, I guess. Grand Drag, I think the Blue Beetle character has a lot of potential. I definitely agree. Johnny Washington, be careful, Darius. They've been taking down people's streams that reacts to this trailer for whatever reason.
Thank you. See, they be striking us all the damn time.
Raptor Cloak, that screaming noise reminds me of the Alien movie trailers. D-Sizzle kind of sounded like Jurassic Park. Raymond was also a fan of the Naked Brothers band. I feel you. They have some great songs, some great bops to this day. Andre Ware, I've never seen The Quiet Place, ... looks interesting.
It is great. I would suggest really going and watching the first two.
Yeah, they're really great. Grand Drag, I will be honest, I don't need to see any more Quiet Places. Understandable. Grand Drag also asked, did you guys ever cover the Peanuts movie about Franklin?
Who?
Franklin? Did I read that right? Did you guys ever cover the Peanuts movie about Franklin? Don't know what that's referring to. I'm sorry for that. Raven 2000. I'm rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender to wash the taste. What the creator said this
So
week
tonight,
about all the changes. This Netflix series has now lost my interest.
Of which Netflix series?
Avatar.
Who said that?
Raven 2000.
That's sad. Definitely has not lost mine. I will be watching. I will be watching. I can't find it, which is really frustrating. It's on.
Sorry,
It's
I
on
got
Twitter.
this weird tickle on my throat tonight.
It's on Twitter, but Twitter is not working for me. Maybe we can do that one.
I've chased down every hint of the Avatar.
This is real. I didn't see shit.
If the world is gonna have any chance, it's gonna need Aang.
I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. Anyway, we'll move into the next thing. Next thing we'll talk about is going to be the Daredevil costume. His new costume. So everybody's been talking about Daredevil's new costume and how it's the set photos, and not just Daredevil's new costume. A lot of the changes and things that have been going on within the Daredevil show. There's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of behind-the-scenes things going on as far as pulling things in from the Netflix series, making it now canon in the MCU. A lot of characters showing up, as far as like Bullseye showing back up. That's kind of like a week and a half to some weeks old news. Bullseye's going to be in it. But anyway, the newest thing here is that we've got a look at Daredevil's new suit, and this is coming from the Direct. And what they are saying here says MCU fans got their very first look at the new costume Charlie Cox will sport as Daredevil in his upcoming solo series on Disney+. Following a short cameo appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, Charlie Cox finally got to go full Daredevil again in 2002's She-Hulk Attorney at Law, shocking fans with a yellow accented suit upon his return. His role in his 2024 first new Disney Plus series Echo took him back to his red-suited roots, although his lone scene had him mostly in the dark, as fans only got a small glimpse at his newest MCU costume. Then it shows here kind of pictures of what you can see. There's better pictures of the suit. The new costume Charlie Cox will wear for his portrayal of Daredevil in Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again has been spotted on set during the filming on streets of New York City. The suit, as seen in photos shared by whatever user that is, appears to be simpler in design compared to the main costume Matt Murdock wore in Netflix Daredevil series. So you can see it there. There's I think that's the series there, and then there. But there's some other pictures. I think there's that one. Oh yeah, it was on Twitter, but Twitter's fucking up. And then there were pictures of I guess I can click here. There were pictures of Bullseye's costume and everything that they had.
I was just about to ask if they've dropped a Bullseye.
Yeah, they
costume.
did. We'll go back to Twitter. Because I have it already on my... I really don't know what's wrong with this shit. They've got that there. That's the picture of the suit I was talking about.
It looks good.
Obviously, with the editing, everything, they'll go in. Bullseye suit will look different. This was like a video though, but you can't. The Twitter's being weird, so it's gonna be choppy. But showing that. But yeah, that's the new Daredevil suit. So there's a lot of changes though with Daredevil. A lot of changes. It's no longer 18 episodes. I think it was like condensed down to 12 or 10, 13. So there's the tone of it has changed from what Vincent D'Onofrio has said in his interview with Screen Rant, when he discussed how Kingpin is now going to be the Thanos of the street level events going on within the MCU and this and that. So Daredevil Born Again is still one of the most anticipated Marvel shows coming out soon. So I think it's probably going to be, after all the changes and Marvel sitting down and realizing, because obviously one of the other changes that this show went through was the writers and directors and everybody getting fired after producing an abysmal, because at the beginning it was going to be the first 4 episodes. We were going to not see him in the suit. He was going to be retired. He was going to be moping. He was going to be mourning the death of his friends and all that kind of stuff. So it was going to be a very typical MCU show, Disney Plus show. But after further review and all the bullshit that we've been getting, after Kevin Feige and company went in and looked at it, they fired everyone, rewrote everything, and now we're getting what we're about to get. So I think it's still going to be one of the top Disney Plus MCU shows, because the care that's going into it. Obviously, Charlie Cox coming back as the role. You've got Vincent D'Onofrio, who's just brilliant as Kingpin. And then so many Daredevil fans that are really going to be, I think, in my opinion, I know there are some people that are just ready for Daredevil, and I am too. I mean, it makes no difference to me, but I think there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be critical of the show because they're going to be trying to compare it to the Netflix show. But they've said since day one it's not going to be the Netflix show, even though a lot has been brought over to the now.
I was about to say, they brought a lot of stuff over.
A lot of elements and everything, but it's still not going to be that
same.
The gore.
Yeah.
And
I would be really surprised.
Yeah.
Just because it's Disney and it's Marvel. I don't know though, I mean, they let Star-Lord pop a freaking metal plate out of Homeboy's head in this last movie.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. But that's the suit there. That's the news there for Daredevil. It is coming out. That comes out next year. Yeah.
Yes.
I think Born Again comes out next year. So, but let us know your thoughts down below. Are you ready for Daredevil Born Again? What do you think about the changes being made? What do you think about the names being dropped that are going to be showing up in the show and all the other things that are surrounding Born Again? Let us know down below what you guys are thinking about it. We'll move. The next thing we'll move here to is just going to be Deadpool. There's obviously a lot going on. Now, I'm going to give the fair warning here. This is your chance. If you do not like leaks, rumors, because what we're going to talk about is just going to be some of the things that are going on in what we've heard about for the trailer, what we've heard about that's going to be happening for the Super Bowl and how that's going to be going and everything like that. So if you're not interested or you don't want to hear those things, now is your time to exit, and then you can come back after that Deadpool conversation. But we are going to get into that. So, some of the things going on with Deadpool. There was the Brazilian Marvel account. There was a Brazilian Marvel account who has gotten things correct in the past when they've leaked things or posted things or whatever. Had posted what was in the trailer. With Daredevil getting ready, if it's true and we are truly getting a trailer for the Super Bowl with with Deadpool getting ready, Marvel getting ready for that debut of that trailer, they are dubbing that trailer. That trailer is going around, I'm sure, to several different Marvel, different countries and for Marvel's accounts and things like that, getting dubbed and everything like that. So This coming from the Brazilian account, still take it with a grain of salt. It is somewhat believable, but they put it in, again, this is according to the Brazilian account, take everything that's coming out in this segment of the show with a grain of salt. As a teaser, the trailer will naturally focus on Deadpool, who is going through a midlife crisis and has left the life of heroism behind him. He now sells cars to support himself. There is a quick and striking appearance by Wolverine, who will strike his claws into his rival in the preview. Deadpool, in turn, gives Logan nicknames, makes fun of his hair. There is swearing and the rating is definitely adult. Furthermore, other mutants will show up. Wait to find out who. Deadpool will hit theaters in July 26th of 2024. So one thing to mention in that is the whole car salesman deal there. That's not just coming from the Brazilian account. That has come out before. That's come out on the subreddit, My Time, others. They've all
I also
corroborated
heard the
that.
whole like him being in retirement, and I've heard that from like a few sources too.
Yes. So there's that one that came out from the Brazilian Marvel account. And they said that that's supposed to be for the Super Bowl. That's going to be the trailer that's going to be in the Super Bowl. But this is something else that we've gotten. I mentioned this last time we streamed when we talked about Deadpool. I mentioned this and I talked about this trailer. But I said how I didn't really remember how it went because it was on the Marvel Studios subreddit. So again, take this one also with a grain of salt. They could both be correct because what I'm going to say afterwards, but they could both be correct. But this is what they are saying is going to be happening in the trailer. It says, let's see. All right, this account says you get quick shots of Deadpool and Wolverine fighting in the void. Shots of them walking down an alley where a TVA door opens in front of them and we don't see who walks out. A shot of Professor X taking off Cerebro and Deadpool looking annoyed. More quick shots with voiceovers of Deadpool with a notable line that says, "Oh my God, so we have to go all the way back to beginning. We have to go back to the very beginning, aren't we? We're going back to the very beginning, aren't we?" Teaser ends with Wolverine sitting in the back of a truck looking irritated while Deadpool sings Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And this is coming from someone that supposedly worked on the trailer, and they then obviously leaked what they worked on.
Right.
Again, take all that with massive grain of salt. We don't know if any of that's true.
Right.
There were leaks, some of the things that we talked about in the past that were supposed to be going on in Deadpool, that came out from that 4chan leak and that also came out from the Marvel Studios subreddit. Some of those things have been debunked and are now not going to happen as far as like the whole story of what was going to be the Ultimatums, the X-Men Ultimatums comic was going to be adapted into that. That's not going to be happening. We've even heard that Magneto may not be in Deadpool 3, but we've also heard that Magneto may be in Deadpool 3. There's a lot of, craziness, but it just sounds like the same talk that was around No Way Home. When No Way Home was, going on, there was a lot of rumors and leaks and a lot of people speculating that this person or that person was going to be in the film or this villain or that hero, so and it's now the same thing with Deadpool, with it being a massive multiversal film, kind of like even bigger in multiversal travel than what No Way Home was.
Right.
It's definitely going to have those, okay, well this person's in it, well now this person's in it, and I like the fact that we don't exactly know who's in it, what's going on, because this is one of the first times where we may be able to walk into a Marvel film and not know exactly what's going on.
And that's going to be nice.
And I say that with a grain of salt. It is only February. The film comes out in July, so there's plenty of time for a lot more to leak. But, with all of that said, there's two trailers. There are two different accounts saying two different things here. You got one saying that this is going to be the trailer, you got one saying this is going to be in the teaser. What we do know is that the trailer or teaser that we get during the Super Bowl is only going to be a teaser. The full trailer itself is going to be released on Marvel's YouTube website or YouTube page after, or I don't know if it's after the game or after the trailer, after the teaser is shown or whatever.
Okay, so we're not even getting a full...
No, and the
trailer.
reason I believe that is because in one of those, they say there's a lot of swearing, blah, 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 blah. I believe that because it is rated R. It is Deadpool. It is, regardless of it being Disney, whatever, one of the things we've known from the very beginning for Deadpool is that it's going to be rated R. It's going to stand on that same tone as all the other two Deadpool films.
Yeah.
So I think the more swearing, if this is to be believed, the more swearing is going to be in the trailer that is the full trailer that's released on YouTube, right? So these both could be correct. We really don't know. There's the old rumors also of one of the things that I wanted to talk about too. It says furthermore, all the other mutants that are going to be coming. Some of the names that we've talked about that are going to be showing up. We know that Sabretooth, we've seen the behind the scenes photos of Sabretooth and the Void fighting. We've seen the behind the scenes photos of what looks like TVA members in the Void. We've seen the behind the scenes photos of what looks like the Fantastic Four's ship that they fly around in the Void. We've even heard rumors that the original Fantastic Four, and I'm talking Chris Evans, Alba, and I forget the other two's names, are supposed to be in this. Massive grain of salt. Don't know if that's true, but those are some of the rumors we've heard. We've also, seen the behind-the-scene photos of Dogpool. We've heard that Ladypool is supposed to be in it. The kid that plays Percy Jackson, that played alongside Ryan Reynolds in the Netflix film they did, the time-traveling film. That kid's supposed to be Kidpool. We've heard that. We've seen the behind-the-scenes photos of the the Deadpool that didn't get his face messed up. That people are saying that's the MCU Deadpool because his suit in the behind the scenes photos looked more like an MCU Marvel suit than anything. There's a lot of things going on with Deadpool that we've heard.
The same thing on the Wolverine side. We've heard that we were going to get like multiple Wolverines,
multiple people, playing Wolverine throughout this film. There was the whole deal when Ryan Reynolds and Levy and everybody were hanging out with Taylor Swift at the football game. Why are they hanging out with Taylor Swift? And I strongly still believe this. I know if I'm wrong, but I strongly do believe Taylor Swift is going to play Dazzler in the film. In what capacity? It's probably going to have some type of singing number or something like that, but she's going to play Dazzler in the film. There's going to be a lot of different X-Men, and that's not the first time from these leaks we've heard that. We've heard several times that this is going to be a heavy-filled X-Men film. But at the same time, it's still going to be a Deadpool film. It's still going to be a film that is supposed to catapult us into Secret Wars. And I've heard a lot of people saying, well, how does a film like Deadpool 3 catapult us into Secret Wars? How does a character like Deadpool fit into Secret Wars and fit into that serious tone of a film? And I still think you can fit Deadpool into a serious tone of a film like that. Yes, there are times that Deadpool is all the time Deadpool's cracking jokes, but there are a lot of times too, if you watch Deadpool 2, when he's caring for the kid that throws the fire, I forget his name, when he's caring for that kid, those are serious moments with Deadpool. Those are serious moments where he's like, where he makes the deal with
I thought Deadpool 2 was a little bit more serious than the first one.
Yeah.
Like I still laugh 10 times harder with the first one than I do with
I love the second one more.
I like the second one's storyline more, but the first one, it just cracks me because it's just a very classic Deadpool movie, and I think in that second one you kind of see that growth, and he has more of those serious, caring moments. So I don't know. I've always pictured him to. You can just really put him anywhere. There's not really a moment where you can't.
Right.
Not him.
Deadpool fits. He would be able to fit there's serious tones in the films, so he would be able to fit. I believe in those films. One of the examples, that I heard being used was is a really good example is the comic with Plastic Man and Superman, when Superman and company had kidnapped or arrested or imprisoned rather Plastic Man's son, and Plastic Man came into Superman's fortress and was still Plastic Man, which is the quippy jokes and everything like that, but in the very serious tone. It was, Superman asked him, why are you here? And Plastic Man was like, why I'm here, but at the very same time still cracking jokes, like he's, saying that Superman's sitting on a throne and this is a bunch of different things. That it was a perfect example because Plastic Man is also very quippy, and having a quippy person like that in a film that is still very serious in tone, I still think works, because Deadpool's already shown that he can be serious in tone. So
Yeah.
I think that it still all works. I'm very interested to see what, and will definitely be live during the Super Bowl, because I'm going to dissect the hell out of that trailer. I'm really excited for that trailer. As you all know, it's one of my most it is my most anticipated 2024 film. So I'm excited. I'm ready. That's what we know so far. Some other things about Deadpool, and I'm sure more will come. So, but as always, go ahead.
I'm hoping with Deadpool, which, I mean, a lot of people are probably going to be like, no, roll their eyes, whatever. But I'm hoping with Deadpool we get more insight of Fantastic Four. Because I know we're going to get insight of X-Men. Right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping we're getting a little teensy bit closer to Fantastic Four. Because I'm just so curious. Especially now that don't we have a full cast at this point?
Not announced, but yeah.
Yeah, theoretically.
Yes.
So.
But we do. But question is for you guys. Let us know down below what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you ready for Deadpool 3? What do you think about those latest rumors for those trailers there? And just everything. But like I said, we're going to be following Deadpool all the way up until that film drops. So let us know what you guys are thinking down below.
Gray said, my thing is, if they pulled the plug on and redid Daredevil a show, then why in the hell didn't they step in with Wakanda Forever with all their problems? Let me see. Chillmonger said an R-rated Magneto could get gory.
Be great.
It could. Critical Mass, Deadpool 2 was trash. Raptor Cloak, you're thinking of Julian and Juggernaut? Juggernaut?
Juggernaut.
Did I say that right?
Julian. Is that the little boy's name? But I liked Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2, I liked it a lot.
Grand Thrag, Deadpool is one of the more comic accurate characters they have in the MCU, maybe even than Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah, and with his new suit.
D-Sizzle disagrees with that.
He says he can't call Tom Spidey comic accurate. We'll move to the next thing here. The next thing we're going to move to is going to be Blade. Now, it's been 4 years since Blade was... it's been 4 years and a long, messy road, let's put it that way, since Blade's been announced by Marvel Studios, and that was at, what, D23, I believe? Or no, Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, because Mahershala Ali was brought out, that's right, and announced
Was it
as...
Comic-Con?
yes, San Diego, and announced as Blade. And we hadn't heard anything since then about him, other than the behind-the-scenes messiness that was going on. And if you're new, I'm just going to briefly go over just some of the things, because it's gonna lead me into where we currently are with Blade. Since so, like I said, announced in 2019. Mahershala Ali came out, San Diego Comic-Con, yeehaw, everybody was ready for it. Marvel's doing Blade. That was at a great time for Marvel, so everybody was really excited. But since then, we've had a lot of rocky roads with Marvel. We've had some dud movies. We've had some poor, terrible Disney Plus shows, and a lot of other shit in between. And Blade is a lot of that shit in between. And with that shit in between with Blade was the simple fact that you had a 90-page script that Mahershala Ali was not happy with 2 fight scenes, and these are the reports. You had the script was going to be focused and centered around his daughter. It was going to leave Blade as more so the third main character of the film. It wasn't going to be a Blade film at all. Mahershala Ali was ready to walk until Kevin Feige and a few other people stepped in, tried to fix some things up, and now here we are. We got a new director. That I think the film has been rewritten like 3 or 4 times.
I think we're on our third director too.
Yeah, and now we've got Mahershala Ali that was working rather closely with the directors and the writers to make sure that it was something that he was really wanting to do and things like that. So the new reports are saying that Mahershala Ali and that we might be actually know something about the film. I actually know what the film may be about, and this is coming from Joe Blow. So according to reports from Joe Blow, it says, now the project seems to be rolling toward production again, and industry scoopers Daniel Richmond have revealed some details. According to his Patreon report, Blade is an R-rated period piece that will tell the story of which is his daughter Lilith going after Blade's Lilith going after Blade's daughter's blood to create an army of daywalkers. Says Lilith will apparently have the ebony blade, which was previously featured in Eternals. So we've kind of got some type of plot synopsis of what it is. It's still going to have Blade's daughter in there in some capacity, and you're still going to, I'm sure with that, in typical Marvel MCU fashion, they are probably going to have some type of passing of the torch, or something like that. But
it's
that is
very much taken though.
Yeah,
that plot's getting very much taken, which
and
I'm not mad about.
This is the first time though we've heard anything really about Blade. We've not heard anything about Blade. We've not heard what it was going to be, or we always knew it was going to be a period piece. That is something we've always known. I think it was always going to take place. I don't even want to get the year wrong. But we've always known that it was going to be a period piece. They went from it centered around his daughter just to having his daughter as the damsel needing help, things like that. So I don't know when Blade's coming out. I don't know if that is before a Secret Wars deal, if that's after. I don't know. I don't know when Blade's coming out. But that is some positive news outside of everything else we've heard about Blade. Even when we were hearing that Mahershala Ali was working much more closely with the writers and directors and things like that, it still wasn't like, oh, okay, that's great. It was cool news to hear. It was good to hear that he was working with them. But it, from 2019 to now, to hear that, oh, he's just working closely with the writers. That was like, can we not know anything more about what's going on? So to finally hear something outside of it being centered around his daughter and him being the third main character, it is positive. So we'll see. And I agree, or like Professor Film said, Van said, being nervous about Blade, we will see.
I'm nervous about the MCU in general. I stay nervous so I don't have to get nervous.
Yeah. And like Chris said, it shouldn't be hard to make that movie. No, it really shouldn't be hard to make that movie. But that is what we've got going on there with Blade, and that's coming from Joe Blow, like I said. And we could see some more things here coming out about Blade. I don't know when that film's coming out. I don't know if it has any time frame or set release date or anything like that. But I'm not sure. We got Alan who said he's hopeful for Blade, and that's great. Like I said, I'm ready to see what Mahershala Ali does with the role.
I'm very curious, just like as how it fits in this timeline. I'm very curious about how Marvel's gonna go about everything after this soft reboot, and I'm hoping they're very particular and what's the word I'm looking for? Meticulous and tedious about what they choose and how they get us to Secret Wars outside of Deadpool.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, as far as Blade, like you said, I'm very curious to see just. No, I can't say that. I can sit here and say I'm genuinely excited for Blade just because it was a character that I grew up on. I just really hope they don't fuck it up.
Right.
But what it sounds like it seems like he's not going to let that happen.
Right.
So, the wait might just be worth it.
Yeah. Sorry, reading something.
Okay. I can read a few comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. Zucchini Brother, I'm hopeful for Blade. Marvelous D, who is his daughter's mother? Is a human or a vampire?
She's human.
human, right? That's what I thought. Chris, I'm not familiar with the Blade comics as much as the older movies. Which comics are they referring for the MCU version? Probably none of them, because they don't refer to the comics.
I'm honestly not sure what... they do all... Well, they say they adapt them. I'm not sure which comics they're looking at for Blade. Because, every time an MCU show or film comes out, we always have at least... Like for Doctor Strange 3, we know that they are trying to adapt Time Runs Out to be the plot synopsis of Doctor Strange 3. For Moon Knight, we knew that they were doing the... help me. I know y'all remember that. I forget whose run that was. But every time something comes out, we kind of know which runs they're connecting them to. And when it comes to Blade, I have no idea. No idea which Blades they are. But we'll move. We'll move to the next and last topic. And the next and last topic that we're moving to, there's not a, and again, this one too, take with a grain of salt. I would say don't even believe this. And maybe you do. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. But we're going to talk about it just for the hell of it, because let's just pretend for the sake of it that it is real. There was last week a plot synopsis for Black Panther 3 going around on Twitter. I got blocked by the account that, because I quote tweeted it. I got blocked by the account that shared it. Thank you, Gray, who sent me the Twitter post of my computer. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, so I have to get on here.
What are we going to talk about in Wakanda 3? Someone please tell me. What the fuck are we going to talk about in this movie?
It was the MCU News and Updates. MCU News and Updates posted, and thank you to Gray also, who found the pictures for me and sent me what the synopsis was, because I couldn't see it anymore because I was blocked.
Is it on your Twitter? Is it on the Planet Fanatics Twitter?
It should be.
Okay. That's so weird. I did not get that notification.
So, the plot synopsis, if you've seen the picture, it's the, well, let me, can I pull that up? Hold on. Let's see. I don't know why this is doing that. I'll have to talk to Henry.
Oh, yeah, they surely did. I wonder if I can see it. Oh, I can see it.
Can you?
Yeah.
They blocked my ass.
Yeah, because I, clicked the link, and it took me straight to it.
That's funny.
MCU News and Updates. At Hollyfield MD. You want me to read it?
Yeah, great. Just send me the other ones. Yeah, go ahead and you can read that.
Okay, the tweet says, Black Panther 3 is reportedly in development at Marvel Studios. Letitia Wright will star in the film as Black Panther. The Midnight Angel series will tie into the film also. The U.S. and others will try to use Wakanda for the resources and vibranium, which will lead into a war with the U.S. There was recently rumors Marvel wanted Doctor Doom in the MCU relatively soon, if not in the Fantastic Four. He will definitely appear in Black Panther 3. In the comic, Shuri also faced Doom when she became the Black Panther. In Doom Wars, we are currently in the MCU Dark Reign era. Side-eye emoji.
They also shared another one that said Doom was also supposed to appear, which we've talked about so many times. That's why I said don't let Twitter lie to you. Doom was also supposed to appear in Wakanda Forever, but it was scrapped. The lady we seen at the beginning of the movie was searching for vibranium, apparently was doing that for Victor Von Doom. Yes, that was the original shit that was going on. and Wakanda Forever.
Right.
And again, for those of you that aren't familiar with comics and things like that, it's not gonna let me really make it any bigger. I mean, I guess I can go.
I was like, I tried to show it on my phone, but is this what you're trying to show him?
Here, yeah, right here.
Yeah.
This is the comic they're referring to, and everything like that. The Dark Reign era. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna make it very clear.
Go ahead, tell him, Darius.
No matter who you try to throw in there, trying to make Doctor Doom the linchpin that puts asses in the seats, that's still not gonna do it. And you want to know why that's not going to do it? And I'm not even going to raise my voice and get over frazzled with this, but the reason that's not going to do it is because you just tried that. You just took Namor, Marvel's first mutant. You just took Namor, who is one of T'Challa's main rival. And some could say Doctor Doom as well, but you took Namor and look how that did. That didn't sell. That did not sell. No matter what you do in Wakanda, no matter who you put in Wakanda, no matter what villain, no matter what heroes, no matter what battle, no matter what storyline, if it does not involve the King of Wakanda himself being present in his own goddamn story, it is not gonna sell. It's never gonna sell. I don't care how Dark Reign era we might be in the MCU. If T'Challa is not a part of that Dark Reign era, it's not gonna happen. Yes, we are, and that's the thing with these Black Panther comics, that these people that like to say that they've read these comics and things like that like to overlook. You're overlooking that. Yes, all they put in there was Doctor Doom faced Shuri at one point. We're forgetting major other events that happened in that comic. Like, it doesn't matter. Again, you have to have T'Challa present. Like, the Black Panther has to be present. I've said this and used this so many different times. And when I've talked about T'Challa being present, I've used this in other examples, and I'm going to use it all the time. It's no different when okay. In July 26th, when Deadpool drops, are you gonna go see Deadpool if Deadpool's not in Deadpool? Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
No. We have 3 Spider-Man movies, or Spider-Man afflicted movies coming out with no Spider-Man. Do you really think those movies are gonna do great with?
And look, Spider-Man? Exactly. That's another example. Look at that right there. Look at that right there. Look at the Madam Web film and how badly it's tracking right now. That film is tracking to do much worse than what Morbius did in theaters. And Morbius was a terrible disaster in theaters. They put more money. They put way more money into making Morbius and into advertising Morbius than they got back from the profit of Morbius.
Right.
And then they put it back in theaters twice because they thought look at what that franchise is doing right now. Right. No one's going. As I told you, even as a YouTuber, as somebody that has to come in here and review some of these films and give you guys my thoughts, I'm watching Madam Web from the comfort of my fucking living room. Yeah. I'm not paying to watch Madam Web. I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't even want to watch it for free. I don't care what's going on in Madam Web. And the reason I do not care what's going on in Madam Web is because there's no Spider-Man. The absence of Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Kraven because the absence of Spider-Man. Venom 3, fuck you. Where's Spider-Man?
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Like, so it's the exact same thing when it comes to anything going on in the Black Panther franchise in the MCU. No matter what story you use, no matter what plot hole or devices or MacGuffins you try to put in that story, if T'Challa's not there,
it's just not gonna sell, baby.
Because there's no way you usher in Namor. There's no way you usher in Namor into the MCU and have him be. Just imagine what it would have been if T'Challa would have been there fighting Namor. It just would have been. It would have been so much different. It would have been a much different film. And when I say this, and this is not, and I don't want to hear that bullshit. I really don't. I really, really don't. I'm so far into this recast movement. I'm so far into this. I don't give a fuck what any of you in the comments have to say when it comes to me saying shit like this anymore. I'm not going to explain to you that I'm not misogynistic. I'm not going to explain to you that I'm not against women or anything like that. If that's what you think, that's what you think. If that's what you think, I feel like you might be projecting. You might want to lace that motherfucking boot up and wear it. I'm not projecting that towards. I'm not not projecting that energy. I never have and I never will. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it very plainly and very clearly. I don't want to see Shuri fighting Doctor Doom. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see her fighting Doctor Doom. I don't care about her fighting Doctor Doom. That's not an interesting fight to me. Her fight with Namor wasn't an interesting fight to me. That was not interesting. That was a terrible fight. And it goes down, in my opinion, as one of the worst fights in the MCU, along with one of the worst films in the MCU. So if I had to give Marvel any piece of advice, it's the same piece of advice I've been giving them since this piss poor decision. Recast T'Challa. If you want to keep doing Shuri as the Black Panther, that's fine. It happened in the comics, that's fine. Do what you want to do, but recast T'Challa, put the king back on his throne, and I would save money if this is what you're going to do. You already lost money with Forever.
Right.
Don't go and lose more money with... And Doctor Doom may put asses in the seats as far as like, oh my God, Doctor Doom's here. But we've already seen Wakanda get their asses beat once.
Right. I'm not paying any more money to go see it again.
Nobody wants to go watch Wakanda get their asses beat again.
Right.
Where is the security for Wakanda? How is everybody just breaking into Wakanda? How are people just strolling into Wakanda?
Baby.
Why is Wakanda constantly going to war with nations that are beneath them? And when I say nations beneath them, I'm talking the United States. Why are they going to war with a nation that doesn't even deserve to lick the bottom of Wakanda's shoes?
So confused right
Not even on the same intellectual level as Wakanda. You saw when the Queen Mother showed up to the UN? And shut that shit down. Not even on the same intellectual level as Wakanda. So why the fuck is Wakanda worrying themselves with problems, petty ass problems that are beneath them? You want our vibranium, okay? You can go to war with us for that vibranium. But we've already seen Wakanda go to war. We've seen Wakanda go to war with Atlantis, and Atlantis kicked Wakanda's ass. I'm not interested in the MCU's Wakanda. I don't want to see Wakanda go to war with the United States. I don't want to see Doctor Doom come in and beat the fuck out of Wakanda. I don't want to see Doctor Doom come in and do exactly what he's doing in this picture here. That's yeah.
Fucking her up.
Yeah, it's not interesting to me. It's not interesting. It never will be. And Marvel's going to continue to lose that money if they continue to toss the Black Panther franchise aside as if that character is not what put people, the people that didn't even know who this character was. That character became a household name. So I don't know. It's definitely a plot synopsis, but that's why I said I was going to save what I had to say and not put it on Twitter. I was going to save what I had to say for the live, because if that is a true synopsis, God save them.
God save us all. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Black Claw 2. Anyways, just read Ultimate Black Panther instead. Gray said, hell nah. Chris, they're gonna switch him out for Gwenpool. Marvelous D. Maybe they are still doing it to check all the boxes so they say they're diverse. Professor the film just laughed. Gray, Madam Web so bad Dakota Johnson is trashing it when she's supposed to be promoting it. Literally.
No, she's switching. Like, she literally switched management companies because, like, she's like the film's so bad, she got mad that her management company booked that shit.
Yeah.
She's quoted saying, they filmed, her quote, her words, we filmed the entire film on a green screen. That's psychotic. I don't even know what this film's going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen the trailer. We know what it's going to look like.
We know, girl. Oh, we know. Chris said, not going to lie, I forgot Madam Web is a thing. Raptor Cloak, I was talking to Marvelous D. D-Sizzle, even if Ryan brought T'Challa back, he's still a liability. The story would suck.
Oh, no. Make no mistake. Who said that?
D-Sizzle.
Oh, no. He has to be gone. In order for the Black Panther franchise to have life in the MCU, Letitia has to be gone. As much as I hate to even say this, Denai has to be. Everybody involved with the original making has to be gone because the attachment to Chad. And that your attachment to Chad is what's hindering you from doing your job.
Yeah.
And that's not me being insensitive. That's not me.
true.
But when you have a job to do, you got a motherfucking job to do. If I'm sick, if I have a job, a 9 to 5, my job is going to understand, okay, you're mourning, somebody died in your family, go home, mourn. But once that time of mourning is done, I go back to work, they're going to expect me to go back to work and do my motherfucking job.
To the full
Why?
capacity.
Because bills are still due, people still got jobs to do, and that is how the world fucking works. It's no different if you're an actor or an actress. No fucking different.
Right.
So the same way that the cast and crew of Fast and Furious were able to still muddle through that film after doing as many films as they did with Paul Walker, and you spent 5 minutes with Chad, didn't even know he had cancer, miss me.
They have
Everyone has to go.
4 movies after Paul, right? Because Paul... No, they had at least 2 movies without Paul.
But the film, Paul died while filming Fast 7 or whichever one it is.
Right.
And they still finished that film without killing him. They didn't do any more, but he still even to this day, we may not see Paul Walker's character, but he's still a part of that franchise.
Yeah.
That's one way to handle it, and then selfishly putting your feelings into it is another way to handle it.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
so make no mistake, Ryan Coogler has to go.
Yeah. D. Sizzle said, need T'Challa and the Fantastic Furious if Doom's involved. Gray said some bullshiggity. Rise said if Black Panther was in 2, then he would be everyone by himself.
Yeah.
And I will say this, I feel like if Black Panther was in Wakanda Forever, it would have been a way better way to introduce a lot of these characters that they want in Secret Wars. Like, they had the opportunity there, and they just, like you said, they just fucked it up.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hate saying it like that. I really do, because I like Winston as M'Baku, even though it's not, accurate or anything like that. I like Winston as M'Baku. I like Denai as Okoye.
Yeah.
I do. But because you're so attached, and because of the things that you have said in your interviews, and the things that you've said since your interview, or since Forever's release and everything like that, the things that Lupita said, talking about she doesn't care what the fans think and things like that. You don't care what the fans think? Let me explain this to you. Those fans, these movies are for the fans. These aren't for you. You are playing a character that we've known about. You learned about when you got introduced to when your management came to you and said, do you want to play this part? You didn't know who the fuck you were playing, and you still don't know who the fuck you're playing, because the character you're playing, sweetheart, is a villain. So you still have no idea who you're playing. She has to go. Denai has to go. What's his name? Winston has to go. Only person that I would accept staying is the Queen Mother Angela Bassett, but you killed her.
Right.
So, everybody's got to go. Everybody's got to go. Everybody, because it's just too much attachment. Way too much attachment. Way too much. And like I said, the whole wanting to continue the story with Shuri. Have you noticed that Shuri's not even okay? Put it this way: when we talk Secret Wars and they talk the new Avengers team and who's going to be going up against whatever, do you notice she's never mentioned? I think the last time Shuri was mentioned, when it was said that her, Sam, and what's his name, who we ain't seen in forever, Shang-Chi, were going to be the 3 leaders. That was early 2023.
Yeah.
I haven't heard her names. So what I'm saying is, are you catching what the pattern, like that no one gives a fuck?
Right.
Like no one, she's not even being mentioned in hypothetical Avenger teams. Hypothetical Avenger teams, she's not being mentioned in.
Well, just even as a business point of view, like, you can't go anywhere that sells Marvel and go in the Black Panther section
That
in
part.
Shuri or Okoye, or none of them are being bought.
That part.
When I went to go Christmas shopping, you know who I couldn't find? T'Challa. You know who I could find everywhere? Shuri's
Oh,
T'Challa.
and you know, if you go to Walmart today, for never, hey Siri, when did Wakanda when did Wakanda Forever come out?
Black Panther Wakanda Forever premiered.
2022, November 11th is when that bullshit came out. And if you go into the stores, Walmart, Target, wherever, you know you can still find those action figures on clearance for like 79 cents.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want that shit. No one. But what they did, what Hasbro did, was they released, with those action figures, they released T'Challa action figures. None of the T'Challa action figures are there. Even though he's not in the film, they just re-released the ones from the first film.
From the first film.
None of those are there.
No.
But you can go find Suri. You can go
Okoye.
find all of them because they're all still there
yeah.
because no one gives a fuck. No one. Like you said, from a business standpoint, a merchandise standpoint, they were trying to sell Wakanda sheets, Forever sheets. You remember we went over all that? I remember at our Walmart, they had in the middle of the store, on clearance, all this Wakanda shit, all this Wakanda Forever shit, because no one bought it because the film didn't do what you thought it was going to do because you took out the main character. You took out the character that put
people in the seats.
Oh God! And I sound like a broken record when we talk about this shit. It's like a broken cycle. It's like I'm doing this dance, this repetitive ass dance over and over and over, saying the same shit over and over and over. But it's like, when does it stick? When do we say, you know,
this is not working.
Yeah.
We need to do something different.
It's crazy.
Let me see here. Raymond 2000, I agree. The only way for T'Challa to return, they'd have to reboot and make an entire new iteration.
Yeah.
RW Chi-Town, Ryan's gotta go straight up. Rise, did you know Hasbro remade toys from Black Panther 1 in 2022 before 2 came out, called Legacy Collection, because Hasbro knew Black Panther 2 would be bad.
And like, even look at this, like Hasbro in the newest wave, in one of their newest waves, I haven't gotten him yet because I can't find him. They released another T'Challa, but the comic accurate. You know, I only fuck with the comic accurate figures. They released another comic accurate one, but it's the one where he's got the yellow on with his the cloak on. It's dope. It's dope. Can't find that one.
No.
Because everybody wants it. I mean, it's just like it's a household name, man. This character was created in the fucking 60s. It's just it's a household name.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
D-Sizzle, these heroes don't need lifelong struggle bus passes. I agree. Xavier, if that cast is too attached, then I'm prepared to let them go.
That's the thing, too. I'm prepared to let them go for the sake of the story.
Yeah.
For the sake of the character and the story.
Yep. Love Denai as Okoye, still gotta go. Yeah, I mean, I love her as Okoye. I personally can't see anyone else as Okoye, but if it's to the point where we gotta just just throw away the whole cast. Xavier, it's sad that actors and some audience are confusing the actors with the characters. How did we get to this point?
It's delusion, and it's we pick and choose what we want to be angry about. We pick and choose what we want to.
That's just a human.
It is
thing. That's a very human and a very U.S. Society type of thinking. Is we want to pick and choose.
And it's a bandwagon type of anger. It's a false type of anger too. Make no mistake. These people that are like so anti-recast, that's not really them. That's not really their identity. That's a false sense of purpose that they're searching for because they have no real purpose in their real everyday lives. So they find themselves on internet, on social media, finding and looking for purpose. And then when they see something that they can attach themselves to and then give life to, as far as like, oh, I don't know anything for shit about this topic, but if I can come in here and troll, well, that gives me something to do. Right. These people don't know shit about this character or about this topic. So it's delusion one, and it's false. It's being fake angry about something that they have no clue what they're talking about. So they don't fall into the trap of these people on Twitter. Like I said, I don't argue with them. I don't. I send them whatever meme. I keep it pushing because they have no idea.
Yeah. Marvelous D, the MCU should not be giving the Atlantis the same power as the Black Panther and the Wakanda. It makes the Wakanda not as special and unique. I agree. Like,
No, there's nothing special.
they literally got their asses whooped. And if Black Panther was in that movie, we could have seen so many other characters, whether new that they wanted to introduce or old, come back. Because, like, it's Wakanda.
No,
And, like, when the movie came out, everyone was asking the same, where the hell is Bucky? Where's
that,
like,
was those questions
like,
too.
where are all these people who know about Wakanda, and you're just telling me they just let Wakanda get their asses beat by an ancient fish?
Well, you know, the only time really in Marvel Comics, and this is during Civil War, mind you. This is during Civil War. And it was so eloquently put, I believe, I was on Chill's channel. But I knew this, you know, obviously from reading comments and things like that, but it was so eloquently put last time I was on Chill's channel talking about this, where they were, gosh, forgive me, where he was talking about, anyway, during the Civil War period, Marvel Comics, Black Panther and Storm got married in Wakanda. And that was the only time that you saw, you know, they had put the fighting, everybody had put the fighting aside, and the Watcher was there. You know, Watu was there. You know, the Watcher don't show up to shit.
Right.
Unless, you know, but this character, and everybody has such respect for T'Challa and everything like that, that everyone showed up. Everybody put the fighting aside and everything just to go to T'Challa's wedding. This character is vastly important and means so much to so many different people within the, even though they're not real, within Marvel Comics and things like that. I mean, the relationship that he has with Reed, we don't get to see that.
Right.
Like, we don't get to see his relationship with Reed.
Which really shows how, you know, smart not just one character is, but both. I mean, they're two of the smartest characters in the MCU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's
So.
it's sad. It's
Jared Miles. At the end of the day, no one knew who T'Challa was until he debuted in the MCU, except comic book readers. So much of T'Challa's story needs to be told. He needs the same love as Batman.
Yeah. There's a lot of T'Challa's story that needs to be told. It's like, you know, he hasn't gotten anything told. Besides he dies in the MCU, that's all we know.
D Sizzle said Christopher Priest era Black Panther. Is that the one with the cape? Maybe when you were talking about the one you were looking for, Hasbro. Raymond 2000. I thought T.D. Jakes was gonna show up and give the eulogy and closing prayer.
They said, who put it out? Screen Rant?
Raymond!
Screen Rant put out some shit, said that Wakanda Forever was the most watched or most streamed movie on Disney Plus in 2023.
Did you not just hear that comment? I'm sorry, that was fucking hilarious. Oh man.
And I just don't believe
Rye said friends should help friends. BP Cast didn't help Chad get his wishes. Kevin says he loves Ryan. Make Kevin go also. He says Ryan is a genius all the time. Kevin and Nate are never sad about Chadwick.
No.
Gray said Reed and T'Challa are the real science bros. I believe it.
Yeah. Then there's, you know, speaking of Secret Wars, there's T'Challa's role in Secret Wars.
Right, which I'm like very confused on how that's gonna happen.
It's
Because
gonna
doesn't
be.
him and Reed play a vital?
It's gonna be Shuri.
I mean, obviously, but like in the comics, isn't it T'Challa, Reed, and correct me if I'm wrong, Spider-Man that kind of like start Secret Wars off?
No, well, Secret War starts off with time runs out when they can, and when an incursion is happening and T'Challa sees it happening over Wakanda, and then calls the Illuminati together. They all talk, blah 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 blah.
Okay. Maybe I was reading a different one.
He's definitely. I don't get. I mean, he's. I don't understand. I don't know what. Suri, I guess. Suri.
Hopefully she's developed some fighting skills by then.
You know, Marvel is doing Star Wars and Marvel are under the same umbrella. They're both under Disney. They're both doing the same shit.
But then that makes me think, like, how much control does Disney really have over Marvel and
I'm sure all of it.
Star Wars?
I'm sure. No. When George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, what we got was not what he agreed to. So they have all the control. They can do whatever they want to do. His story, what he wanted to do for 7, 8, and 9, wasn't the shit we got that is now 7, 8, and 9. And now Disney is now saying, okay, you love 7, 8, and 9 so much, we are going to give you a 10, 11, and 12, which is currently happening with, the Rey film that's going on, and it's happening. I haven't really talked about it because I really don't care, but they backed the money truck up to Daisy Ridley. This film is happening. She is starring in it. She says that her latest quote that she said was, "It's a sick script. Fans are gonna love it." That's that money truck talking. That's all that money they backed up, because I can promise you, whatever story Rey's involved in, it's not sick. We're not gonna love it or anything like that. But one of the things we do know is that she's going to be building a council and all this kind of stuff, and so you could see past Jedi and things like that if Disney and Lucasfilm decide to go that route. But I'm not interested in a Rey film. I'm not. Like, to me, Star Wars Episode 8 is without a doubt, and I mean this. Oh my God. That movie is so bad. It is so bad. Like, and there's only one thing I like in it. The only thing I like is Snoke, and that's right before they killed him. But the movies, it's awful. It's awful. And then you followed it up with a terrible Episode 9. Awful. Awful. Star Wars is, and I as a Star Wars fan, when I say this, I'm saying this with love. It's a dead franchise. It's not coming back. And the reason it's not coming back is because you have fractions of fans. You have fans that think it should be this way, fans that think it should be this way. You've got I don't even know if you have new Star Wars fans. Are there kids that are Star Wars fans? Like, are there kids below, like, the age of 10 that are like, Star Wars? Because when I was a kid, like, Star Wars was my and it still is. It was my, are there little Star Wars fans? I don't think that. I just don't know. I
see kids wear, like, Star Wars clothing, but I'm assuming that's
right.
Just their parents.
But I see kids being more Marvel fans at that age. Like, I see kids with Marvel toys dressing up as Marvel. I don't see kids being I don't see it a lot. Right.
Like I used to. Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm just saying, like, there's fractions of different fans. Like, people, like, example, Skeleton Crew about to come out with Jude Law. It's going to be about him and a group of kid Jedi that escaped, because, every fucking Jedi has now escaped Order 66 magically. Him and another group of young Jedi that escaped Order 66, and they're now floating in the unknown space. When I tell you my interest for that shit is zero, it's zero. And they're getting hunted by pirates. Why?
Where did pirates come from?
There's pirates in Star Wars, but it's like
pirates in I thought we were in fucking space.
Space pirates. But it's like, why? Why the fuck is? But then you have Acolyte that has my interest.
When the fuck do you... Wait, I'm so caught up on this space pirate.
There are space whales in Star Wars. There's giant whales that flow through... There's lots of weird shit in Star Wars. Space pirates is the least of the weirdest.
Okay.
But there are space
pirates. I thought we were dealing
pirates.
with glowing swords and aliens and robots. I didn't realize...
There's a lot of that. A lot of that. Aliens, robots, he, she's, all types of
Space pirates.
Morphed people. What did they post on when the Star Wars fans were being racist? There's 1,000,000 Star Wars species. Racist is not one of them. So yeah, there's thousands and millions of species. And,
I'm gonna need a minute to wrap my head around that one because I was not expecting that to come out of your mouth.
Lots of them. But Star Wars it's not the same. It's not the same, and it's not going to be the same. Like I said, Acolyte has my interest because of the storyline, the plot. It's about the twin girls. And it's in the Old Republic, so one twin's drawn to the dark, one twin's drawn to the light, and it's going to be following a story. First time ever we've ever had that in Star Wars. That's following, the main story is going to be around the Sith apprentice, and we're following her and her master. So we've never really had that. So that's peak interest. That piques my interest. But other Star Wars projects like coming out, like they're still doing the Lando movie. What? I didn't even know that was still happening. They're still doing the Lando film. Who cares? Honestly, Donald Glover or Danny Glover, whichever the fucking one it is, one of the Glovers, is playing Lando from like he did in the Solo film. I thought he did great in the Solo film. I thought he was good as Lando, but I mean, it's just like, bro, it's just like.
Why?
It's hard. It's tough being a Star Wars fan.
My bad. I'm sorry.
It's tough. Like I love Ahsoka. I do. The Ahsoka show is good, but it's not memorable. It's not memorable.
Damn.
There's memorable moments, but overall, I can't even tell you what Thrawn was really after. I know he wanted to get the fuck out of where he was, but like,
Couldn't tell you his like master plan.
I mean, yeah. Anyway,
Sorry, Johnny. I'm not at Clones. I just watched episode 2.
what did Johnny say?
Because I was asking about the pirates, and he says the pirates been in Star Wars. They've been there since Clone Wars.
Yeah. No, she hasn't even done episode 2 yet. She's only done episode 1.
Oh, have we not? I thought we watched 2 already.
No.
Oh, we haven't watched 2 yet. Oof,
No.
Behind. Life is life right now.
I think that Lando show they said is still happening, Johnny. I swear they said that Lando show was still happening. What other? I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what other Star Wars shows are happening. I know the Mandalorian movie that has. Of course, I'm interested in that. I want to see where that's going. Anything Dave Filoni has his hands on with Star Wars, I want to know where that's going. This Tales of the Sith rumored show we're supposed to be getting. It's not What If, but it's supposed to be Tales of the Sith. That would be cool. But
That would be kind of dope to kind of see that side of
yeah,
the
it
Sith.
would be. I love the Sith stories way more than the Jedi. The Jedi got on my damn nerves sometimes. A lot of the times, you know, I am currently just finished watching Clone Wars, rewatching Clone Wars, and have just started. It is. I know, Eric. It's dead, and it breaks my heart too. But just started watching, rewatching Rebels, and you know, Bad Batch season 3 comes out in a couple of days. Those days of Star Wars, like Clone Wars, Rebels, all of that stuff, it's brilliant. It's brilliant Star Wars. It is. If they could just stay in the vein of that, it'd be great. But no. No. Yeah. You have a long way to go.
I do. I have a very long journey.
You have a very, very, very long way to go.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm excited though.
like it's a long way to go.
It's a journey.
Well, we'll start your journey
Soon
sometime.
enough.
But that is the news. That is what we have for the news today.
That's what we got for you.
I'm going to. That I actually am really. I know I say this all the time, but I really am reacting to Avatar. I really am reacting to Avatar. So I will be here for Avatar, and I'll be reacting to that. That's February 22nd when that all dropping all on Netflix. Then I'm not doing Bad Batch. because I don't know what that season's really gonna look like. I might hate it, like I didn't like the last one. There are key things that I'm sure are important, but yeah, I think that's all else that's really coming out right now, show-wise. Nothing else. So
a lot of things aren't really dropping until later on this year / early next year. I just finished watching The
know
Boys
it is.
and Gen V.
Did you like Gen V?
I did like it. Will I sit here and say it's better than The Boys? No.
Did you watch every season of The Boys?
I did.
Ah.
Me and Destiny binge watched that shit. And let me tell you.
It's good.
So good.
It's really good. It's funny.
So fucking good.
Did you see
No
the
notes.
episode? You saw the episode,
No notes.
the Hero-gasm?
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite episodes. Shit got crazy. I'm forever gonna laugh at the nigga with the penis that just like enlarges himself and just wraps around him. And he was like choking him out.
What about dude that went and shrunk himself and went inside his boyfriend?
Oh yeah, and then sneezed because he had like way too much coke and then like exploded on him.
Exploded and
Yeah.
made himself big inside.
I mean,
of
don't
his
get me wrong,
boyfriend.
Gen V is good.
That's
I
some
like
shit
how
right there.
Yeah, I definitely like how it was, more to our age. But when I think of a show or a movie with superheroes, like I like what I saw with The Boys. I like the gore. I like the dark side. I like that there was funny moments. I like that everyone kind of had their own. I felt like it was like a true soup show. Like Homelander just gets more and more psychotic, and it's so funny because.
But you actually fear Homelander. That's the thing. Like from scene to scene, I actually am on the edge of my seat. Like, what the fuck is he about to do?
Oh no, I definitely had there was definitely a fear, but I think for me, this is how you know Corey Hall needs therapy, and I'm currently in therapy and I'm working on it. But this is also how you know the type of shows I watched growing up. I loved Homelander. It was like, what are you gonna do next? Because I don't think you're hitting rock bottom. This is a tantrum, bro. This is nothing. I feel like I'm not seeing shit right now. And then we got to season 4, and I'm still like,
no, he's crazy.
You're there, but I need you at rock.
One of my favorite scenes with him is the plane scene with Maeve, when he tells all the passengers, "Get the fuck back!"
Oh yeah,
laser eye all that fucking bitches. That
you know what I'm talking about? You know when you just like. There's just different levels. I don't know. There's just.
He said, "You want to die with these people, babe."
He really did. There's just layers to that onion, and I'm like, we're just not quite in the center yet. And I need to go. I need to know. I fucking love Butcher. I fucking love Butcher.
Yeah, Butcher.
I love him. That's in my brain, that's my baby daddy. I would have been like, fuck that kid, let's go.
That shit.
What? My man came and got me, let's go. I can't say that because I love KJ. But
I like when, Homelander's just funny.
Homelander is funny. I did like Gen V. I love how Gen V ended. I'm so ready to see
I didn't finish Gen V.
Did not finish it. It is so good. Those last 2 episodes of Gen V, you're gonna be like,
yeah, I didn't know.
What the fuck? And it's all tying in together.
I know it ties in with
I also did some research, and I didn't realize that The Boys is actually a DC comic book off of a DC.
It's
comic
comics,
book.
yeah. You know what? Oh, I forget. Yeah, House of Dragon season 2 does come out this summer. We have that this summer as well.
Oh, we do have House of Dragons this summer.
I'll be reacting to that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Excited
Are we
for
gonna do
that.
how we did it for the first season, like a watch party type situation? Or?
Yeah, well, we're actually gonna do reactions. We're actually gonna record us this time, but those ones, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for House of Dragon. That's gonna be pretty good.
That one's gonna be a good one.
Still got a long time though before that shit's over.
Yeah.
In order to, like he said, in order to properly tell the dance, that's gonna take 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And we're only on season 2.
But I'm here for it. If that was season 1, I can only imagine 2, 3, 4.
I love House of Dragon, but it's no Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is.
Still have not watched Game of Thrones. I'm slacking.
Game of Thrones is the shit. Game of Thrones is great.
Sorry, Johnny said they deviate from the comics too much. I don't think they have the balls to take Butcher to where he goes in the comics. Can you tell me where I can like read the comics online, Johnny? Because I'm really curious of Butcher's character and how they do him in the comics. I'm obsessed with Butcher. I would probably follow that man to the ends of the earth. And this is once again why I'm in therapy, because like, girl, why? This is
like
why
the
you're
scene
very
with,
much single. Because
with-
these are the
with,
type of men you're attracted to. Men like fucking Butcher.
The
Don't
scene
get to
with
know.
Mother's Milk, Starlight, and Huey when they're in the car, and then Huey and Starlight start singing that song, whatever song's on the radio, and Mother's Milk goes off on them. I like Mother's Milk.
Yeah, I like MM. He's dope. But I also very much like Frenchie. I love Frenchie.
I like Frenchie too.
And I loved Kamiko. That whole staff was it for me.
Yeah, they got that whole group, like the whole group.
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah. But anyway, we appreciate everybody being here. We are going to
I will have to,
head
Greg.
out for the night, and then we will be back. Well, possibly tomorrow, maybe. Don't know yet.
You know, it's always a mystery with us, guys.
But for sure, I'm here for the Super Bowl. I'm live for the Super Bowl. I'm going
When
to
is
be
that? Sunday, Saturday?
doing the
Monday?
Super Bowl Sunday 7th. Is it the 7th? I don't know.
Something like that.
I know I'll be live for it.
I don't know football. I actually have a very embarrassing story, but I just remembered who I was talking to, so I'm not going to tell you.
Live for that. And because there's going to be a lot of trailers, so I'll be reacting to all those. So, but thanks everybody hanging out tonight. We will see everybody in the very next stream.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Like, subscribe, share with your friends. See everybody in the next video. Peace out.